on you, whenever you're ready.
Okay, I'm going. Count to three. You count to three.
1, 2, 3.
Hearts Across Borders follows the unique journey of military spouses living abroad, navigating love, cultural identity, and life far from home. In this episode, we meet Martina and David, who fell in love during COVID after connecting online and later said, "I do." Martina, a former pro basketball player from Italy, now manages a sneaker store in Germany and shares her passion for cooking in a special kitchen scene. David, an Army medic from Las Vegas with over 8 years of service, stands by her side with steady support. Together, with their 2 beloved cats, they face military life with love, laughter, and resilience.
My name is Martina. I come from Italy, born and raised. I went to school there and everything. I started a professional basketball career there. Then eventually went to university, got a couple degrees basically, and that's when I eventually met my husband, David, and ended up getting married. And since then, we've been touring the world basically.
My name is David Cook, and I approve this message.
Sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm not supposed to laugh.
Oh my god.
Tinder!
We met on Tinder.
Yeah.
On the dating app.
We're not sponsored, by the way.
No. Sadly.
Yeah.
Yeah, we met on Tinder in the middle of COVID, so it was between 2020 and 2021, and we started chatting, and we were like pen pals at first, kind of like doing our own things, and then when eventually the restrictions for COVID lifted, he came to see me, and we have been seeing each other ever since, pretty much.
Yeah, it never stopped.
Never. That was it. We came out of COVID with a marriage, yes. Well, honestly, all the traveling and being in touch with different cultures personally, especially after we went to Korea, which was such a big cultural jump from where I came and from also where he came, that definitely like opened my eyes a lot. There's a lot of difficulties in this life, but there's also a lot of possibilities to just like expand your knowledge, I would say.
Maybe people for me. Mingling with different mindsets, different cultures, different ways of working with people, the friends that you make, and people that kind of, they're hard to work with but sharpen you, so that'd probably be mine.
Okay, once you bring it back to the rear, let it go, okay?
I would say that he does get worse before it gets better. And by that I mean that this lifestyle, especially considered unusually most of us, is someone coming from a type of life that is very different from this, from traveling a lot, never being able to settle down for more than 2-3 years. Maybe you start having kids, your family is far away, so it's very, very different from what we're usually used to. So at first, especially the first up until probably the second duty station, it can get really hard. You struggle to get a job, you're taking care of your paperwork, like it's a lot of things. But I think that the beauty of it is that you eventually end up finding a balance no matter what. Having like a supportive enough spouse that can help you to do that. That's him. That's David.
That's a hard one to answer because that's cultural difference in America. My initial answer would just be like connectivity, but that's something Americans don't really get compared to other countries. So that was the biggest challenge for, I feel like, us, for her specifically, was like connection. So if I can change something, it would just be like maybe open the minds to most Americans or military people in general to being It's not even acceptant. It's a little deeper than acceptant, to be accoutrement to the changes of life, but with people. So just kind of looking at people and seeing that for who they are, and then kind of investing themselves in the challenge, I guess, to find the difference, to see how you connect. I guess the investment, probably the best thing I can say.
Like from the community?
Yeah, because like the SFRG, right? Like they just do SFRG things, but to me it was like, well, the spouses can get together, and to me it's like a exchange of like information. So they could have got together, and it could have been like this thing where it's like a positive environment for the wives to like work together and see how they could support the husbands while also supporting each other and kind of build that community. But that's something that's like not really in an American culture as it is in other cultures. So I think that was missing in every duty station we went to, other than the first one we went to, which was Italy. But everyone there was like really loved Italy, so like everyone was invested in each other. So it was like a better family environment. So everyone was like, "Oh, you got a girlfriend? Like, bring her on over. Like, we'll make dinner for her. We want to meet her." And like then, you know, they're like, "Oh, you're so nice. Like, we'll do this again." And then like that was the regular, and people stuck to that. And it was an environment that was like positive, and it gave her a good view of what the military life could be like. But then as soon as we moved, and it was just like not that anymore. So
it is missed in American culture. That doesn't mean that Americans do not network. It just means that they do it in a different way, and sometimes the level of it, it's definitely less than what we would do it. And I see it coming from my culture, where, you know, people are always they interface with each other pretty much daily. They not really see each other daily, but like the just check up on each other is seen like more of a social norm rather than an occasional thing. And I think that really can improve the military environment for the spouses, because people do get lonely, especially people whose first language is not the one that the spouse speaks, the one that the country that we're in. So that's a good point. Yeah.
Well, I joined the military so I can meet a foreign-born spouse. That was the whole plan. The military was just the boat I had to ride on. Yeah, it was just the vessel to get to my goals.
I'm kind of starting to like the fact that it's a very unsettled type of life. Let me expand. Because at first that really threw me off, and David can testify, because nothing was like... He leaves for training sometimes, and he doesn't know when he comes back, when he's actually leaving. Is he actually leaving? So I don't know if I'm ever going to be alone for a month, if I'm not going to be alone at all. And then the first duty station we were in, it was Korea. I couldn't find a job in Korea. So, you know, there was also the struggle with like the career and everything. Networking with people at a certain point got really hard. So that really threw me off in Korea, and I started seeing it as a bad thing. But then since we got here, and it's probably also because, you know, I'm a little closer to my family, so I was able to get established a little more. That kind of made me realize that it hits the deep end, but that you kind of always like bounce back up at a certain point. So the duty station you're in, it might not be the best one, but because it's a very unsteady type of life, you're gonna end up eventually switching it up. So give it like one more year and you're gonna be just fine. So and I think that really makes you stronger mentally. Like it really like expand your mind to just endure a little more for a little longer, to be like, okay, let me just, as he said, let me just hold on and just like, you know, try to focus and get through it, because there's gonna be a light at the end of the tunnel. His light was getting a wife, I guess. My light is going to visit some other places. His light was, oh, okay, I got married.
Date. Get out there. You won't regret it. Yeah.
Woo!
All my soldiers, I told him, I was like, stop sitting in the barracks, depressed, playing video games all the time. I said, go get you one of these little local national girls out there and then just have her show you the sights. And if you like the girl, you stay with the girl, and I promise you it'll change your life. Each one of my soldiers that followed my advice, guess what? Got married.
True. True. They all, besides one, I think, they all came out of Italy married. They all came out of Italy married.
The ones in Korea getting married
Even
right
in Korea,
now.
yes.
They're getting married right now.
Yeah. That's the way he approached me on Tinder. We matched, and he just texted me, Martina.
Bingo.
And I was like, David? And we just started talking. I never met the guy, never talked to him, and he was just like, Martina. And I was like, David? With a question mark? That was it.
What?
Yeah. 4 years later, there we are.
The Riz is like, everyone's like, oh my god, I got about... No. It's simple.
You gotta hit them straight to the core.
Riz.
Cooking from scratch. All the things that I can. Which sounds silly.
No.
But is there any Italian spouse? I'm looking straight into the camera. If there's any Italian spouses right now that is looking, yes, it is that. Yes, guys, you go in the kitchen and cook something right now. It's nobody seriously, because I was, again, it might sound silly, because at the end of the day, everyone needs to cook a little bit, so to survive, to just get through the day, to just get through the week. But the fact that I was raised every Saturday, every Sunday, cooking with my family all together. Since I was little, my parents put me in the kitchen, maybe some pasta, some cakes, some pizza. And usually, whenever I cook, he kind of invites people over and he's like, here, my wife made food.
So, David, how has your idea of home changed since marrying someone from a different country, different culture, while serving in the military?
It never changed. This was part of the plan.
Once again, he had everything in his head.
Everything was in my head, and it's being executed. So there was no change. This was the plan.
Well, this is kind of like a combined thing now that I think about it, because he is a person that when he comes home from work, for instance, he is drained and he needs his time to just simmer and decompress from the day. And same thing for him, usually when he's home during the weekend, which means he doesn't work, he is home and he chills. So his version of hanging out or just decompress is usually hanging out around the house, or he's big into tabletop games. So he's things that bring him to just be quiet and sit down and chillax and everything. I am the total opposite, because the way usually my friends are mostly they're all high energy, let's go do something, let's go out of the house, let's go to the gym, blah 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 blah. So at first I was looking at him and I was like, are you okay? But that definitely open after a while and adapting and understanding is just more whether it's this lifestyle mixed with the personality that he has, it just is a little bit more quiet and introverted.
Yeah.
His battery is his social battery gets drained faster and more easily than mine. So to him, the version of hangout that really pours into him is being quiet and maybe watch a movie with someone, playing cards with someone. To me, is going out, doing active stuff. So it was really that was kind of the biggest shift, I would say, huh? Yeah.
One, yeah, experience. Yeah. You get a lot of it. The military definitely provides you a lot of experiences, that's for sure.
Experiences that can either be a lesson.
Yeah, it's either a challenge or it's a challenge with a good time. Yeah.
There you go. That's a good
it's
way
all
to
about
put
the
it.
people you're with. There you go. Yeah.
Yes.
Have good people.
Do you feel like you have to compromise anything, maybe?
No. I don't feel like I had to compromise anything.
He's very true to himself. I can testify that.
No. I didn't have to compromise anything. Didn't have to sacrifice anything. Love. The only thing I could say about love is it's not a feeling. It's something you do.
It's a choice.
I think the common misconception is people think love is this feeling, So like, oh, my husband, he doesn't love me anymore. I don't have these feelings I used to have for him. It's not the case. So love is something you do. So the love for, I guess, like my wife, and I guess the sacrifice made would be getting up in the morning and go do PT. It's the closest comparable thing.
How did your family feel? What ethnicity are you, David?
Oh, hell, I don't even know. Mixed.
You're mixed.
Yosemite.
Okay. and you like purely Italian, or you're also mixed?
Well, I mean, genetically, I'm probably mixed because originally my grandparents came from Croatia and from South Italy, but like, it's like I'm fully Italian. Yeah, like we just speak Italian. We always lived in Italy. Like I'm fully Italian.
So when it comes to you, like your family, did they only want you to marry an Italian man?
No, matter of fact, sorry. I think that they saw that coming because I was always a little bit. I always conduced a little bit of a different life compared to, you would say, the average person in Italy. I left at 14 to become a professional basketball player. So that was the first strike. So then my parents were like, oh God, here she goes. And I never came home from there. So I started living alone at 14. Then I started university, finished university kind of quickly, I would say. And never brought anybody home to my parents. And then I ended up bringing him. And they kind of knew that he was the first and only person that I was bringing home to them. So they knew that he was getting serious. Because they knew that I would have never brought home just like a rando. Like, oh yeah, this is John. And then 3 weeks later, John has disappeared. So I brought him home, and I think my father and him had a little bit of a conversation, kind of a serious one, I think, once.
That dude asked me well, Americans believe in divorce. We don't.
Because they do. Unfortunately. They do.
So he's like, are you going to stay with my daughter? I was like, yeah, that's the plan.
My father was just concerned, because, and then me and David, we ended up actually getting married very fast, which is very unusual for my culture. I was very young for my culture when I got married because I was 23 going on 24. And we got married very fast because he was going to Korea and neither of us wanted to do long distance. And we just kind of looked at each other and we were like, this is it. We don't need to look for anything else. So my parents, they definitely were concerned at first, although they also knew that it's not like I was 15 asking them if I could get married. I was going on 24. So they were like, they got married. They got mad, but they could get mad up until a certain point because I was like, guys. But they liked David. It was just the whole rush. Oh my gosh, she's going to Korea now and she's getting married. So they were just scared, I think. And he brought me back to Germany because he promised them, he was like, I'm going to bring your daughter back to Germany. I hope, I'll try. And he did. So.
It's all part of the plan. Oh, my parents knew that from when I was a kid. Yeah, I'd said that since I was a kid. I was like, yeah, my wife's not in America. So they knew it was coming. So when I joined the military, and I was like, hey, I'm going to Italy. I'm pretty sure they knew what was up. So, yeah.
Very strong personalities in his family. So when they get together, it's a party. When they get together, it's a party. I just get to sit back and relax, and they're just like...
Okay, that's a party.
But no, that your family didn't have any problems with me. I think that was the main question.
Oh, yeah, no, they're all right. Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
I guess they're all right.
I think they're just glad to know that she wasn't crazy or something. Yeah.
Always good.
I think that's it. Yeah. I think that'd be it. It's custom made.
Oh my god. Dad, David. Beautiful. Mm-hmm. Part of this dish. Whoever is Italian from home that follows this type of video, they know that it is one of the easiest recipes. Whoops. There it goes. One of the easiest recipes in Italian cooking. But it's okay because we like simple food in here, and it's David's favorite pasta, right? Mm-hmm. It's actually the first Italian word that you learn how to say.
Oil, purple, chill.
Bravo!
So, Martina, how many languages and which languages do you speak?
I speak Italian, English, French, and Spanish. That makes a total of 4. I'm currently working on German. German is not easy. 10 out of 10, wouldn't recommend.
And Korean.
And, oh well, I mean, Korean, I lost it though. I used to know way more. That is a thing that helps you network if you are like in the military community and you want to like network with spouses and stuff. You have, especially in the American Army, you have a lot of spouses that maybe speak Spanish, and that makes it very easy to network if you can at least speak like one more language besides your native one and the one that you speak with your spouse. I guess it really helps. I like it like that. It's really nice. Wow. You are cleaning that garlic in such a majestic way.
Majestic knife cuts. Action-packed. Slicing actions.
That's what I wrote.
She's like, do you think I came here to shoot? No, I came here to eat.
Okay. Enough salt. A little warm, but it's okay. We're just gonna add a little bit of room temperature oil. And the only reason why I'm doing that is so that the garlic doesn't burn. There you go. Slowly. Thank you, David, for the garlic.
Gosh.
Right, David?
You listen to Afrobeats and Linkin Park? That's quite eclectic. That is like
Also chaotic. Chili flakes. Alternatively, also fresh chilies, but I do like the chili flakes because they have more concentrated flavor. And you just until you want, and this should be enough. And now we go slowly back on the fire, making sure that it doesn't burn. So we can. And in just a second, we're gonna put the pasta in the water. Oh. Beautiful.
Okay, so you make it until brown.
Yes, golden brown, not burnt brown, of course. Yes, this is why I'm going so slow because I don't want it to burn, and garlic is very easy to burn. And since it's the only ingredient of this dish, if you burn it, you're screwed. Yeah. This one in Italy, usually you make it because it's so quick and so easy to make. You make it at midnight for like a midnight snack. It's really good. Now we can take it away from the fire. And we can go ahead with our pasta actually.
So what level of the stove must it be? Very low?
No, like medium I would say. Like I'll put it on a 4, between 4 and 5. And you just gotta put an eye on it. Sorry, keep an eye on it. Yes. This way, because it's so quick that the garlic burns, see? Even outside of the flame, it's already keeping cooking. Okay, so...
How long does it take to make the pasta from scratch?
It is very quick actually. At least I think it's quick. I would say maybe 30 minutes. Because I have a machine. It's called like a manual machine. La macchinetta per fare la pasta. And I have it. It's this one right here. Hold on. Let me take care of this one first because I don't want it to come out messy. Here you go. Here you go. Yes. Fresh pasta takes very short to cook, so we're giving it like 3-4 minutes. Oop, already. Here you go.
They always speak about el dente. What does el dente really mean? El dente?
Al dente. Mm-hmm.
Thank you for correcting me.
You want to explain to her what it means?
The consistency of the pasta.
Yes.
Were you always vegetarian?
I'm not a vegetarian.
He's not vegetarian. I am.
Hell no.
That's one thing that we do not share. For all the spouses that do not follow the same meal plan of their husbands, do not worry. You can get through it.
Yeah, make them meat anyways.
I make him meat. I make him meat. Because I was a big meat eater when I used to eat meat. So the skills of cooking are still there. It's just I don't eat it anymore.
Okay.
It's just it doesn't appeal anymore.
I be
much.
cooking too. Let me tell you what. Yeah.
He's
Pozole.
a very good cook. Yes.
Tacos. Fried chicken.
Tacos al pastor.
Tacos El Pastor. Throwing down.
What would you say the most dominant type of dish cuisine here? Is it American or Italian?
A little bit, no. Well, it's the both, I guess, because when I cook, I definitely making something that it will be like in Italian style. But when he cooks, like usually makes himself wings, and to replace my wings, he makes me like fried cauliflower because it's in the Shibawa wing. We got married by proxy, which means like we got married just sending in the documents with our signature and approvals, and they just send us back the marriage certificate basically, which is a very easy way for foreign military spouses to get married. It's very quick, 2 weeks and you're married, but you don't really get to have a ceremony. So we were going to his home in Las Vegas to see his family because they didn't meet me yet, and he was just like I was like, well, maybe we should do a little ceremony, and we just did like a ceremony there. Yeah, it was actually really nice. We were in Italy as we got married, but it's not like the marriage was officialized in Italy. It was officialized in America. Mm-hmm. So we got married with American law technically, and for Americans that get married with Italian people, there's no like pre-marriage process. This is the very quick dish. It's basically ready. It's a very rich, oily, flavorful dish.
I need to pronounce this dish again.
This is a very hard dish to pronounce, so I feel sorry.
Aglio, oil, and pepperoncino.
Bravo.
Boom!
Aglio, onion, pepperoncino.
Mm-hmm. Good job! There you go. There you go.
A heartfelt thank you to Martina and David for sharing their incredible story. And most of all, thank you for your service. Wherever you are, you're not alone.